Greetings everyone, I hope you're all doing well, and it's been a while and I thought it should be a perfect time to test a racing game. So I started digging and I noticed that there is one franchise which I haven't tested at all, and that's WRC. Now I knew this game is quite dated at this point. It was released in 2010. And for all things considered, it's not really that ancient, so I thought maybe it should be mostly a smooth experience in terms of setup, installation and stuff like that. But unfortunately it's not the case. So first of all, this game is not sold anywhere. I guess due to licensing issues, because it's official WRC game, I believe. And that's quite unfortunate because the game is pretty decent. I will talk about handling and stuff like that a little bit later. But the first one are the issues which I encountered to get this game running and especially recording. The first issue that I got is that the MSI Afterburner or Riva Tuner statistic server does not detect this game. It uses very strange launcher which is incorporated with the game, and there is no game exe file located in the directory of the game. Typically what you get are two files. The first one is the launcher, which usually you use to set up the resolution, settings, sound and stuff like that. And the second one is typically the game file exe. So usually you launch launcher, you set up your settings, press play the game, the launcher will close and auto launch the game exe. But here it's not the case. It uses some kind of modified version, and I checked Task Manager and it still shows that the launcher is still running, but it's paired with game process, which is separate thing, and the exe does not exist as I mentioned in the game directory. So for RTSS it cannot really target that separate game exe, which does not really exist. And now I'm left without any overlay, without any FPS metrics, because I cannot use Steam overlay, I cannot use RTSS overlay. And if I try the NVIDIA overlay, I cannot record it because the NVIDIA Shadowplay for some reason does not record that. So I'm left with OBS, and unfortunately with OBS I get plenty of issues, and one of that is inconsistent footage. So apologies for stuttery gameplay in the later section of this video. I think the first three races are pretty decent in terms of smoothness, but the last one is quite stuttery, so apologies for that. Now once I decided to stick with OBS recording and NVIDIA statistics for the overlay, what about the game? What about the settings? Well, the settings are here. And for the most part I use completely maxed out settings. I used FSA, which is downscaling, not upscaling. The downscaling means that I used way higher resolution and then fit into my monitor. So that's way more demanding than native 4K. And here I used FSA 4X, so effectively I'm rendering 8K image here. And now the worst part of this game, the blurriness. In the settings it does show the few options which you can disable for motion blur, for depth of field, but for some reason it does not fully disable that once you do in the launcher. And for that I had to use modified game file, which I found on the internet, to completely disable the depth of field, because out of the box it is absolutely atrocious. Basically 50 meters in front of you everything is blurred out, and it's just not how I want to play the game. So I had to disable that completely, as you can see here in the video, of course. Now another negative thing, I don't want to sound too negative about this game because it's overall pretty decent for what it is. But another thing that unfortunately the controller support is quite limited. It does detect the buttons of my Xbox controller, however I cannot set any dead zones, which is quite unfortunate because for racing games that's very important. And currently, out of the box, what it is right now, it's quite numb and the dead zones are quite wide. So there's not really much you can do about that, at least as far as I know. Now the physics of these cars are pretty decent, but I found them to be a little bit hard to drive sometimes. Sometimes you get into this uncontrollable slide, which you cannot really correct in any way basically. So sometimes it feels quite nice sliding in the track, but sometimes it catches you in that slide and you cannot do anything, and basically you become a passenger at that point, so that can be a little bit annoying. And I'm playing without any assists at maximum difficulty as well. Now as for FPS, it's pretty good. Keep in mind that I'm theoretically running this at 8K, so that's quite demanding. Despite that game is quite old by this time, but it doesn't really stutter, so I give it that. But yeah, it looks pretty good for its time. It drives pretty well for its time, but it's very quirky with its setup and settings, and it's not available anywhere for sale, so that's quite unfortunate. In any case, I think I'll leave you to the gameplay. Again, apologies for stuttery footage at some points, especially at last part. This is the reason why I dropped OBS. It's just a nightmare to work with, but in this case I didn't really had any other options. I'm leaving you with the gameplay. As always, thank you very much for watching and see you next time. Bye bye for now.
Left 3. 100 left 4 in, right 4. Left 5. 80 right 3. Left 3 in, right 4 cut. 80 hairpin left, trees inside. Hairpin right, barrier inside. Right 6 into left 6 on crest. Wow, I can't even see the race leaders anymore. 80 left 5. Hairpin right. Hairpin left. Right 5 and left 5. Right 6 into jump. 200 left 2 into right 2. 200. Right 4. 60 left 3 into right 3. 3 gate, 150 left 4, don't cut on tarmac, we're closing the gap. 300 left 3 into tunnel. 200 left 4 on gravel. Right 3, careful, trees outside. Left 6, in, hairpin right, low. 40, hairpin left, low, on tarmac. Pavements. 200, junction right, cut, slow down. 60, junction left, cut. 200 right 3. Right 4 in, left 3, cut. Right 3, over bridge, come on. This is the fastest you can go. 80, left 3. 300. Left 3, over bridge. 60, right 3. Jump, very long. Right 6, in, left 4. 60, left 3, long. 60, right 6, try to finish. This just isn't our lucky day. Okay, man, let's do it. Go! Left 3, in, right 3. Left 4. Jump, low, in, right 5. Right 4, in, left 3, tightens. Right 2, in, left 2. Right 4, in, left 5. Right 4, in, left 3, low. Very narrow, careful. Right 6, in, left 6. Right 6. Right 3. Left 3. Right 4. Left 3, in, right 4. Right 3, in, left 3. Right 4, in, left 6. Right 6, in, left 4. Opens, and right 3. Long. Drop back a place. Hairpin left, low. Hairpin right, very narrow, into junction. Right 4, barrier outside. Hairpin left, low. Hairpin right, low. Left 3. Jump. Jump, low. Jump, very low. Careful. Jump in, hairpin right, low. Hairpin left, very low. Right 3, in, left 3, on crest. Right 5. Left 4. Grabs a few more positions. Keep going. Left chicane, very narrow. Trees, inside. Left 3, in, right 4. Left 3, in, right 5. Left 6, in, right 3, on crest. Left 3. Left 2, in, right 3. Left 3, glad to finish. Definitely isn't where we wanted.